Okay, everyone, we will start our webinar. Okay, how is everybody doing today? This is Regina Evangelista. I will be your host from Mr. Outsource University, all the way from Davao City. It's raining today in Davao, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Let me just prepare. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? If you have any questions, you can type in your questions on your panel. And if you want to raise your hand, you can actually also do that on the panel. So again, I would like to welcome you to Mr. Outsource third webinar, Mr. Outsource University's third webinar, entitled How to Be the Best in Research and Make at least $1,000 per month working from home. Okay. So if you spend your time browsing through the internet to search for specific information, then you're already an experienced web researcher. Okay. How about, think about this. How about getting paid to surf the net? Huh? Sounds too good to be true, right? But, there's a way to make good money, like cold, hard cash money, just surfing the internet in your spare time. See, in fact, there's an entire industry that wants to pay you up to 300 pesos an hour. Okay, that's an hour. And all you have to do is sit at home and check out websites. That's all you need to do. Okay. However, there's more to becoming an internet researcher than just surfing the net. It's more than that. So it is best if you learn and educate yourself. Okay. And this is why you're here to learn about what is internet researcher, what are the common duties and responsibilities of a researcher, and what are the skills and specifications of an internet researcher. And of course, we will be sharing with you some tips and tricks for research success. Okay, before we proceed, please, if we can make the most of our time together, if you take down notes as much as you can, put your phones in silent mode so we can all concentrate. And you can ask questions by having it on the right on the panel, and we will be sending an email later on with the recorded video that you can watch on our YouTube channel. Okay, our past webinars are uploaded at mroutsourceuniversity.com and YouTube/Mr. Outsource TV. So that is all where our past webinars are, so you can just check them out. So let's start, okay? What is an internet researcher? An internet researcher is basically a professional whose job is finding information using the internet. Okay, the hours you'll work as an internet researcher partly depend on your client. In some cases, you will be given a task with a quick deadline, such as finding case law related car accidents, or your client wants you to find the average cost of, let's say, a pizza in a city, or an average cost of milk in Davao City, different groceries that your client wants to know the different prices. So that's just very quick research. However, there are others, you'll have a longer amount of time to do research, but perhaps this is a task where you need to go more in depth of a topic. Say maybe it's more of medical, it's more of technical or law based. So internet researching is also that's the range, from quick to a long term kind of research. And some clients will expect you to work during business hours, and others will just want you to work to be done on time. It doesn't really matter. It really depends on your client. Now, you'll need also to be able to compile the research according to your client's need. This could range from a Word format, PDF document or Excel spreadsheet or PowerPoint presentation, however your client wants the research to be done, you need to submit that on what he or she wants. Now, again, there are all sorts of businesses and organizations use internet researchers, including scientific organizations, magazines, and business firms. This is actually a very simple job. It's a very basic job, but there's a great demand for internet researcher. Okay, like I said, there are different kinds of organizations that need internet researcher. So if you're good at researching, if you know where or how to look for topics and information online, then this is your path right here. This is your career right here. And what's good about internet researching is you don't need to be at a location or at an office. You can just work at home and just submit whatever your clients need after after you found the information that he or she wants, and you're good to go. Now, next is I want to share with you specialization and expertise. Okay, like I said, all sorts of businesses and organizations use internet researchers right here. And the internet, because the internet is a huge treasure house of all types of information, right? These are required in these industries, like scientific. They need information, before they can conclude something. They need documentation. Medical, they need to look for more information for sources, that this and this is very dangerous to our health, and so that, or a cure to cancer, they need researchers for that. And the internet is just full of the information that they need. Now, finding correct and relevant information takes time, and this is a luxury that many of these companies and businesses do not have, but you do. You have your spare time, you don't have anything to do, so you can actually have that spare time and get paid by doing it, helping these organizations. And what they do, these companies, they tell you as a researcher about exactly what they need. I need this and this from ages 18 to 36 in this city. I need to know their political views, or I need to know the religion of most people in this 10-mile radius of this town. So that is also internet researching. And again, you just have to look them up online, email it to them, and you'll get paid. Again, some people or some clients pay 500, 300 pesos to 500 pesos an hour. Okay, that's an hour, and it's just money, money, money. If you know your way around the internet, and get paid, right? And again, it also helps, again, specialization or expertise. It also helps if you have a specialized skill or expertise, because some clients or companies may be looking for a particular area of expertise. Okay, again, what I mean is that the common requests, including finding information on corporate websites, exploring new products, and getting potential employees or businesses contacts. Those are just the common researching tasks. Like, I want to know, your client wants to know the competitor. Okay, your client is a retail industry in the UK, and he or she wants to know his competitor in that city, in that town. And all you need to do is Google it, Google Maps, and look for a similar stores like your clients, and that's it. Other researching tasks would say finding blog topics for your client, as well as occasionally proofread his blog. As an internet researcher, your client sometimes do that for ask you to do that for him. Law researchers, if you have a background in law and you have nothing else to do in your spare time, you can actually be an internet law researcher, and all you need to do is just go your way around law websites and looking for laws, looking for loopholes, and all these things. You have medical researcher. Okay, if you know the medical terms, if you know the medical websites, that is also a plus. Another is business researcher or entrepreneur researcher. Okay, that's an expertise. Now, an internet researcher may research anything again from property listing for a realtor. If your client is a realtor and he or she wants, a list of all the real estate for sale properties in this area, that's also internet researching. Okay. Or a simple internet researcher can also search for hotel rates and promotions for air flights, you know, for travel agencies. If your client is a travel agent, you can actually help him search for the best fares and so on and so forth. Again, as an internet researcher, you can save your client two valuable resources: time and, in many cases, money. So again, there's money here. If you want your career to be in this path, internet researcher, there's actually really money for in that endeavor. Okay, so next we will go to researchers' duties. But before that, if you guys have any questions, again, just type in below and I can answer those. Okay, next is researchers' duties. Okay, now the hours you will work as an internet researchers, again, partly depend on your client. And you need to know, number one is check the accuracy of the data on the topic by comparing to various websites. You need to have accurate resources. Just because you found in this blog that 80% of virtual assistants in the Philippines are women and 20% of Filipino virtual assistants are men doesn't mean it's true. Okay? You need to check other websites if they are saying the same things. Just because, you know, this website says that Jackie Chan is the best, or Michael Jordan is the best basketball player, doesn't mean he is, or we all know he is, but we need to check our sources. Number two, as a researcher, you need to manage information. Okay, if you have all these information of a certain topic, you need to know where to put them. You need to know where to organize them. You need to know how to use them. Okay, you need to know to arrange them. Okay, so your client just don't have this large, a big file of information, and he or she doesn't know what to do with it. You need to present it to him or her. You need to, just because he says that put it all in a Word document and you just copy and paste everything in a Word document, that's not it. You need to manage the information. You need to go from step one to step two to step three. Okay, you don't just copy paste everything. You need to arrange them, and this is what we mean by manage information. Second is use keywords. Okay, identify keywords of the required information and use them to harvest maximum information. Okay, just say, for example, your client needs the best travel or the best air flights in the next months. So your keywords are cheap, affordable air flights. Okay, those are your keywords. Okay, keywords are important. Now, like I said, search the internet, search engines, and databases for this required information. Number four is document information. Okay, you can document an information by downloading them and storing them in your client's hard disks, or have it stored in a Dropbox or a cloud. Okay, because again, there's a lot of information online and you need to be concrete. You need to know where you find it, and if you need to download the said thing, if you need to screen capture the website, if you need to again document it, go ahead. Download audios, download videos so you have a copy, and submit them all together. Okay, because those are credible sources. Next is access scholarly websites, like think tanks. You have Wikipedias, then you have Google Scholars. You need to use Google Books. You need to use Google Articles. These are websites that have great, reliable sources of information. So they have the dates that the books are published. They have the best resources. Wikipedia has the best sources. You have best references in there, so it is also best that you access these sites because they are just full and full of information. Next and last is keep abreast with the latest tools and applications on the internet and use them to optimize search. Okay, some of the tools that you need to know are Zotero and Wired Marker. These are Firefox add-ons. If you want to have a better search tools, you need to add these. Again, it's Zotero and Wired Marker. Another is iSight, Similar Web. Another is Concierge. Concierge is a Safari plugin for Mac users. I'm actually using Concierge. It's very, very helpful. And Eagle Filer and Selenium, you can download it for Mac OS as well. Spring Note, that's another search tool. And we have the very, very reliable search researcher tools, most recommended is the Google Notebook. Okay, another counterpart of the Google Notebook is Evernote. You can actually use that as well. You can check these tools and applications. It's one of your duties as a researcher to be familiarized with, to be familiar with all these tools. And you can actually also share this with your clients. They will be very happy if you chip in some, give your 2 cents on the latest tools that they can also use. Okay. Okay, so what you will need as a researcher, very, very simple. All you need is to have a computer, high-speed internet connection, experiences with different web browsers, and knowledge in softwares like Microsoft Office. Okay, please, please never confuse web browsers with search engines. Okay, web browsers are like Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Firefox, Opera. Those are the web browsers. Search engines are Google, Yahoo, Bing, etc. Okay, don't confuse the terms. So I hope you already know that. So I'm just reiterating so you guys don't forget. And okay, the next is what are the researcher skills? Okay, just because you have a good internet and a good computer doesn't mean you're already a good researcher. Okay, you need to have specific skills. Okay, remember, if you have specific skills, you're very qualified to become a researcher, and the higher your pay will be. Okay, just because you will say that I'm familiar right with I'm familiar with Google doesn't mean you're already a researcher. So you need to have certain skills so that you have the right to ask for more money. Okay, you ask, you need to know if you have these certain skills, then you can, ask for better pay. Okay, I deserve this because I know more. I'm not a typical researcher. Okay, so let's get it on. Okay, researcher skills. Number one is, besides the ability to work without the need of constant supervision, that's, by default, you should already have that skill. You should also have the ability to work in a team and provide the required assistance, because whether you like it or not, you are not only the researcher of a business, you will have other researchers as well. So it is also best if you have that ability to work in a team virtually or physically. So besides that, a researcher should also have a strong knowledge of internet and computer application skills. Again, like we discussed, like Microsoft Office, PowerPoint, Excel spreadsheets, how to use a chart, how to make a graph. Those are the things you have a knowledge of, okay? Next is the ability to search for the required data and all that is related to it, okay? You need to know what you are searching about. You just You just don't need to jump in there and just search for anything at all. Next is a sound knowledge of internet search engines, databases, and how to optimize the search. Next is the ability to optimize keywords. We will be discussing this in detail later on. And you should have an in-depth knowledge about accessing databases, academic sites, think tanks, online journals, and magazines. Okay, you need to know where to find these information online. You need to know, you need to have access to these things. Now, if you have access, wow, the information just keeps on going. Okay, and these are just not ordinary information that someone just wrote on a blog. Okay, these are reliable information that have sources, that have references in them. So that's it. Now, before we proceed to the next, the researcher's tips and tricks, now that you know what are the researcher's skills, I would like to raise a question. What do you think, is the best and most, recommended and most loved search engines today? Search engine site. Is it Google? Is it Yahoo? Okay. Is it ask.com? Who do you think? We'll check if we have any answers here. Oh, most of you guys say it's Google. Yeah, I love Google too. Go for Google. Okay, so here are some research tips. So let's say, okay, so most of you guys say it's Google, so we will base our researching tools and all of the information about research on Google. Okay. Number one, if you want to identify local time for any city in the world using Google, okay, if you want to know the current local time in a particular city, all you need to do is syntax, time in, and the place. I put here time in Japan, and you say here. You don't no longer need to put what is the time in Japan right now. Okay, you don't need those sentences. Just put in the right words, just time in, place. Time in Davao City, time in Oslo, Norway, time in London, UK, time in Croatia, and Google will provide you the answer. Next tip or trick that you should use is if you want to exclude keywords in the search, you can use the minus sign before the search. Okay. You want to look for ebooks, but not those that are free. You don't like free ebooks, you want paid ebooks. So you should put ebooks minus and then free. So you notice on the results, there's no free word in there. So it actually just specify your search. Okay. Again, the minus sign before the word that you want to exclude in the search. Next trick and tip is searching for keywords with similar meaning. Okay, say for example, you want to search for makeup tutorial, but you also want to look for makeup procedures or makeup tips, makeup programs, makeup tricks. So you need to put this sign, that curve dash sign, and before the word. So that sign and then tutorial. So makeup, then sign, then tutorial, that it will provide you similar meanings, and it will actually, the result will also will show makeup tutorials, makeup programs, makeup tricks, makeup tips, and all similar synonyms for tutorials. Okay, next is if while searching, if you are not sure about which keyword to be placed in the phrase, you can match any single word using asterisk. Okay, instead of searching for only given word, say you need to use this asterisk. So for example, you need to know the tips and tricks, you can just put that asterisk sign. Okay, if you want to search, for example, of photography tips, again, you're not sure whether to search for photography tips and photography techniques, and then you want also to search photography tips and photography tricks. Okay, then you can use asterisk This will match either tips, tricks, tutorials, search, or any other word related to it. Okay, this is also very helpful. Okay, next is if you want to be specific in your search. Okay, if you want to be specific in your search, use or, and, or not. Um, using these operators, the Boolean operators, you can actually be more specific in your search. Okay, say for example, you want to use photography techniques or, and, or not tutorials. Okay, your results will be a much more specified. Okay, and always remember that the Boolean operators are in upper cases, so Google can recognize it. Okay, this is that it's not part of your search, but it is a command. Okay. Now, other search tricks that you can use in Google is if you want to get the identify the definition of a word, you just say define, then colon, then virtual assistant, and then it will provide a meaning below. Okay. It will also, of course, cite its sources where Google got it. Okay. And then unit conversion using Google. Google will show you the equivalent pounds for 1 kilogram. So you just type in there what is you can I'm sorry you just input in that search box 1 kg in pounds. Okay, and it will just provide the answer below. Next is mathematical calculation using Google. Okay, whether you like it or not, Google answers everything. If normally for doing metric conversions, we will be using some online conversion websites, right? We need to go to conversions.com and whatever. But however, just by using this Google search box, you can do calculations, unit conversions, and money conversions as well. So you can use just square root of 10, just put them, just put SQRT parentheses 10, and it will give you the answer. Okay, no longer if a calculator is not handy or not anywhere in sight, always use Google. Next is you want to search for a range. Okay, you use double dots. Okay, double periods. Say for example, you want to search for let's say a blouse or a pet food. Okay, a dog food, and you want to know and you want to get the sources, the results from $400 to $450. Okay, just those pet supplies under that range. So all you need to do is put pet supplies and then $400, then dot, then $450. Okay, you don't need to put from $400 to $450. All you need to do is that two period sign. Okay, and Google will recognize it as a command, and it will show you all pet supplies in $400 to $450. Okay, you can actually try it. It really works. So there is really a good reason when people say that Google knows everything. Okay, there is a fact behind whenever people say Google it. Google knows everything. So this is actually the reason. Okay, so let's be more specific on our search tricks. Okay, this is it. Okay, if you want New York Times articles about test scores in college, but not the SATs, and you want the articles or the test scores written between 2008 and 2010, okay, how do you want to get this information? Okay, by Googling it, okay, you put the site, only searches the page of that site. Okay, that's how the site then column works for. And then again, this college, okay, remember this is like synonymous to college and all other words related to it. And then you have the quotation marks, searches for the exact phrase, not each of the words separately. Okay, if you don't put quotation marks between test and score, Google will Google will see, or Google will look for articles with tests and scores separately as two words. But you want to know the test scores as one word. So you need to put a quotation mark and exclude minus sign again. Okay, exclude, if you want to exclude the term SATs, then you should mention it today. And again, the dot dot double dot so shows all results from within the designated time range, so from 2008 to 2010. So once you input these word on Google search box, then you have a more specified, and you won't waste your time just Googling around 1 to 10 billion pages just to get your sources right. You need to be more specific in looking for information. That is, if you want to be an internet researcher, you need to know these kinds of commands. Okay? Just familiarize yourself with all these tools and with all these operators, and you actually know. Okay, it takes practice. Okay, it takes practice. Now, other researcher tasks will be database entries and data presentation. Data entries or list building. Okay, whether it's a slew of new business cards, picked up at a conference, or updated information for existing contacts, your job as a researcher is to keep databases current. Okay, for a virtual assistant for a researcher virtual assistant. Okay, your client, say for example, okay, just an example, Mr. Outsource himself, Erland Backe, CEO and founder, attends to different conferences all the time. And what he does is he uploads all these contacts, he uploads all these business cards, like from 25 business cards to 100 business cards on Evernote. And what a virtual assistant does is she or he types in all those information in the business cards in an Excel spreadsheet. So Erland Backe has all the information in a list. Okay, and what Mr. Erland Backe would like is to have the virtual assistant gather all the emails in that business card and add those emails to his LinkedIn account. So all those new people that he has met at different conferences, he or she has information about them. Okay, he keeps in contact with them, and this is also a very good tool. And or Mr. Erland Backe wants you to update his list, phone book, um, Facebook friends, LinkedIn contacts, and this is actually what you do as a researcher or as a virtual assistant researcher slash link builder, a list builder. I'm sorry. Okay, and usually your client will be very, very specific about his or her needs and expectations of you. Okay, and please, there's no room for errors. So please, whatever information that he or she wants, just please include it properly. If you need to copy paste information just to have accurate information, just do it. Okay, and next is data presentation. Okay, turning one of your researcher tasks is turning raw data into a clear PowerPoint presentation, or again, like I said earlier, summarize research findings, research results in a Word document. And if you know how to use PowerPoint presentation and you've actually done like this webinar, the presentation of this webinar, you can actually help your clients save a lot of time. So it is best if you familiarize yourself with PowerPoint, Excel spreadsheets, or Excel software, and Microsoft Office. And as a researcher, you should be familiar with graphs, with charts, with polls, with surveys. You need to know how to read them. Okay, it is also a good skill to have. So to conclude everything, okay, internet research as a job, okay, can give you the ultimate freedom and flexibility of self-employment. Again, as an internet researcher, all you need to do is be at home, go online, and just use the researching skills that you have and get paid. Okay. And the best part about it, okay, the best part about it is you never have to go to an office. Okay. There's no commute. There's no boss breathing down your neck that, hey, I want this done. Okay. It can all be done from the comfort of your home. Okay, wherever in the world the home may be. If you're in London, go ahead, be an internet researcher. If you're in Baguio, be an internet researcher. If you're in Davao City, be an internet researcher. Okay, as long as there's internet access wherever you are, you have a great, well-paying job as an internet researcher. Again, we would like to invite everyone and encourage everyone to sign up for free virtual assistant training at mroutsourceuniversity.com. And if you remember, if you pass the training, if you actually take our tests and you pass the test, you pass the training, then we can provide a suitable client for you. Okay, we need you guys to sign up and participate and take our tests, chat with us, just be interactive with us, guys. We don't bite. We answer anything you ask of us, and it's free, okay? It's totally free. Remember, if you have more knowledge about becoming a virtual assistant, then you are more highly paid. Okay, if you mention that you've been in training, and there's more credibility in you, and you get paid more because you deserve to be paid more. Again, this is Mr. Outsource Training. For on your dashboard in the first part, there's an introduction from the CEO and founder himself of MrOutsource.com, Mr. Erlen Backe. He will be he will be sharing. We'll be welcoming you to the university, and he will be sharing some insights and experiences that he has. So go watch the video. And actually, Mr. Erlen Backe will actually can talk to you. He's a very busy person, but he actually can answer your questions if you do have one, and he can also share his experiences. Okay, his experiences working with virtual assistants in the Philippines. Okay, he can actually also share what is expected of us. He can also share his bad experiences and good experiences. So he's actually very open. Just ask us. Again, okay, I'm showing you the virtual assistant training, and today we are module number 9. It says research list building. So this is actually if you want a more in-depth and more say advices on how to become a best internet researcher, please go to module 9. We have some tests there. You can actually just you can take them. We also have a step-by-step internet researching procedures there that can help you guys using different tools. How to use Evernote, how to use Google Notebook. Okay, it's in there. All our training is straightforward, easy to understand. Again, we have interactive tests, and most of all, okay, employment. We have a job for you if you finish the training. Again, guys, we just want to reiterate, we do not want to hire a virtual assistant who hasn't undergone our training. So we advise you guys to do that. And I'll see you on our next webinar. Okay, and invites will be sent via email. Okay, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, we will also announce via email what are the topics to be covered next. And I hope I'll see you guys soon. I don't see any questions yet, but if you do have one, please email me. Okay, email me at regina at 360factory.com, and I'll be very happy to answer all your questions and guide you through the training. Okay, and that's about it. Okay, this is Regina Evangelista from Mr. Outsource University, and I'm signing out from Davao City. Bye, everyone.